Good sleepy ass morning, everyone. Today is Monday, June 2nd, and today is the Monday recap, except we are going live. Only because I woke up late and didn't have time to record the video, post the video, etc., and so on. So it's easier just to go live, let it post right away. Well, go live it now before work, and then go on with our day. So apologize for those of you that probably came late, at 6:30, which is the normal time. And obviously we started early, but anyway, enough about that. Let's get to it. So today we will go through the Monday recap to cover MSTY, TSLY, CONY. I just realized I have MSTY on the title here, which, they've been gone for some time. Gone. All right. So TSLY, CONY, NVDY, PLTY, SMCY. So let's get to it. Monday's looking, slightly red, which sucks. I was hoping for a little green, but it is what it is. So first we'll do MSTY, then we'll do the others, and then we'll go through my options trades and where we stand heading into the week. All right. Are you ready? All right. We only have 42 of you because obviously this was last minute. Yeah, but I appreciate you guys joining this morning. And my voice is probably groggy. All right. So we have two synthetics on MSTY. We have a 390 and we have a 420. All right. The 390 is, it's 5% away. MSTR price is 5% away from this. This expires 19 days. So it doesn't look like getting any kind of miraculous income from either synthetic. This is the only one that really has a chance at the moment, but we'll see. I just had up the pre-market here for MSTR. It's down 0.21%, which, obviously the market don't look like much today. Also, real quick, you'll see that I added payment 9 because as of Friday, that's the cutoff for any, payment information, any income, qualified income for this distribution that's coming up. And that's coming up Wednesday. Obviously, yes, I did the guesstimate video yesterday, so go check it out. If you haven't seen it, I will pin it to the top of the comments of this video in case you have not seen it, or in case you want to watch it again and you're bored. All right. The other synthetic, as we said, is 420. Not much activity here in a while, and not many contracts there, luckily, but they're 12% away from making bank, brah. So, 19 days away for that one as well. Now we'll go to the weeklies tab, but again, there's not much here. We added what we needed. I hid out all the old closures except the gray because that kind of skipped a line in between. But actually, let's see what the IV changed to. All right, so it went from 58.9%. That's what we had as of the Friday. And as of Monday morning, we're showing 58.13%. So is that all right? No, not really. It's actually getting lower and lower and lower, which is very unfortunate. Just some spreadsheet detail. You'll kind of see that payment 8, which is, for this declaration. I have that formula, which I normally can't show you guys this on the phone. So it picks up the credit, right? Because that's when it happened, right? It happened in the cycle of that payment, and that's it. But for this cycle, this is only going to pick up the debit, right? So whatever it costs to close is going to go towards this payment, at least that's how I track it. And then obviously starting today, which would be, updated, this will reflect June 2nd, but it'll reflect the whole profit loss number. All right. Again, just information that most of you probably don't care about, but it's just, kind of some stuff that I do monitor. I could probably now get rid of these 2 columns, right? We don't need a little too much information there. Get rid of that. There you go. And then the quick recap at the top, along the top, MSTY price 21.55, MSTR 369.06. These are as of the close on the Friday. And we said 30-day IV is 58.13%. Outstanding shares, 192 million. Total net income, again, we're starting fresh. We're starting at 0. We'll see what happens today. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Total distribution, obviously 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Even if you annualize that, sucker, it's 0, 0, 0, 0. It's all good. All right, MSTR funds. Again, this is where we track and compare the various competitors. And yes, I will add these other new ones that are coming out. MSTW, what are we calling it? MS2, MSII, or whatever the hell it is. But yeah, I'll have to add them and make my formula even longer once I figure out how to even do that. And yeah, to my knowledge, I don't think they've bought any more Bitcoin, MSTR. So, and Bitcoin's what? It's showing to be at 104. I guess it's not really moving. It's okay. It's all right. Reaction. Yeah, it's until Wednesday morning, it's a big question mark on what we're going to get paid. You know, there's a lot of people now on Twitter, X, on Reddit, everywhere, on even YouTube, that are doing misty guesstimates. It's crazy. It's crazy. Now, again, everyone has their own methodology, I'm sure, and everyone, you know, has their own calculation. But in the end, it is what it is, man. It's just for fun. We're all having fun trying to guess whatever the hell they're going to pay. But I just don't think it's going to be something, you know, comparable to what we got last time. That's for sure. Group D declares when? June 4th, 2 days away. All right. Payment information, nothing to really talk about because we kind of know, right? But we made 249 million, which comes to about $1.30 per share. All right. So as I've been saying, you know, the range of the payment, I still think is anywhere from the IV amount, which is 96 cents, to the $1.30 amount. All right. Oh, I have to update this actually. This has to pick up the new. Where is it at? If greater than 1, F9. Yeah, so this will go to F10 since it's a new cycle. Yep. Okay. All right. So yeah. Anyway, so 96 cents to $1.30. That should be the range. At least that makes sense to me based on what I see. But what the hell do I know? All right. So let's look at our covered calls for the week. You ready? Here we go, baby. Here we go. Here we go. Could probably zoom in much more than this actually, but oh well. Let me just try to make it a little pretty for you guys. Oh, no. All right. All right, let me check the messages. I know there's not many of you awake yet, but yeah, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Paulette. Good morning, Vladi. Good morning, LA. And Gregory, good morning to you as well. And Mark, good morning. Great name. All right, Robinhood could do the prediction bet thing like they do for, yeah. Imagine that. Oh man, I love that they do that, by the way. You know, Robinhood, they're something, man. They are something. All right, so for this week, what do we got? We got lowest strike price 380, 2.96% out of the money. You know, it's not safe. I mean, again, let's check back to pre-market. 0.21% down. But that's good. That's good. Our highest strike price is 400, which is 8.38% out of the money. But we got various, man. We are scattered-y-doo. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8% out of the money, which, you know, it's good. But they got no call credit spreads. They got no insurance. They got no butt buddies to back them up. So we'll see how all this plays out. All right, we scroll to the bottom. We can see the size of the fund, 4.1 billion. Just a little big there. The NAV is 21.54. The trade price as of Friday, 21.55, 1 penny off. Synthetic is in the negative. We won't talk about that. Total synthetic contracts, though, 112,000, right? Most of them on the synthetic 390. Total contracts they're selling covered calls on, all of them. And credit call spreads is 0. We talked about that, all right? IMST, how they doing? Well, if we can get their picture here, we scroll right. They got synthetics, as we know, 365 and a 375. They both expire on June 20th, and their covered calls, again, this Friday would be the 6th. So they have two at the top, a 395 and a 405, 7 and 9% out of the money. So they're in a better spot as far as that's concerned versus MSTY. And then we look here, the 390 and 390 and 385 is actually for 613. So this 385, this is not safe at all, right? That expires not even this week, but next week's. So if MSTR decides to go crazy, then good luck with that. Because they don't have the insurance, you know, they don't have the credit call spreads on this one at all. Then they're selling calls on June 20th, 405, 410, 9 and 11% out of the money. So we'll see. Again, we don't track their intraday trades, nor do I don't even think they post it. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on that, but last I checked, I did not see it. All right. So MST is the other fund, the other competitor. I know this takes up time, but you know, let you guys let me know if you want to see this stuff, right? But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, they're buying calls. They got the swap. We know all that, and they're just selling this one little covered call, little one here, 382.50, 3.64% out of the money. It expires this Friday because again, they got like what? I think half of the fund, 2x exposure MSTR, the other half 1x, and then they'll sell calls in the other half, something like that. So we'll see how that plays out. Questions. Oh, I did get a new question. I could grade this one out actually because I answered that the other day. Oh yeah. A reminder, if you guys have a video question, either YieldMax, MSTY, whatever, or options related, type video question and then type your question. And the reason you would type video question is you want me to answer it on the video. All right, makes sense? If you don't type video question, I'm not going to answer it on the video. All right, water break. Here we go. Okay, we got 134 of you. We're now at 6:30 though, so it's normal time. All right, so here we go. This is from TIMB 5280. Thank you for the question. Have any of the YieldMax funds done a reverse split? And a second question, should we be concerned about a reverse split? How would that affect the payouts? Yeah, we talked about, well, plenty of times we talked about reverse splits. But yes, only one fund so far from inception has done a reverse split. That was TSLY. I believe they did a, was it a 1 for 2? Yeah, I think it was a 1 for 2. So what happened was, you know, I think the fund dropped to like, say, $9 or $8 or something like that. They did a 1 for 2. So if you had 10 shares at $8, right, they would do a 1 for 2 split. And then instead of having 10 shares at $8, you would have 5 shares at $16, right? Same value, right? Same overall value, same market value in your fund, right? So again, you have what, 10 shares at I'll tell you right down here. What the hell did we say? 10 shares, $8, right? So that's $80, right? Obviously do the math for you here. And then instead, you know, post reverse split day, they're going to give you, you're going to have half your shares, but the value of TSLY is going to be $16 because the point of doing the reverse split is to increase the value of the fund. They don't want, you know, to get in trouble per se. They don't want the value of the fund too low, or they didn't at least. Now they don't really care. Now they're not really doing reverse splits. So the capital, no change. The share count changes. Outstanding shares of the fund changes. The distribution really overall shouldn't change. But that changes month to month anyway. So you don't know, you know, if they like declared a distribution, then they reverse split before they even pay. Yeah, it's going to be the same distribution, right? So if, you know, when they had 10, they paid out what, 40 cents, and then they did a reverse split, you know, they would pay like 80 for that example, right, per share. So it's kind of double. But again, their payouts change so frequently that that part, you know, but yes, it's ideally it's going to be greater when you have less shares of a higher value fund. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, I'm half asleep, so please forgive my, groggy explanation. Hopefully it came out okay. But the other question, you said, how would that? Well, no, no, you didn't ask. But they basically said they're not doing any more reverse splits. Look at MSTY, for example. They're just going to leave it, and I love it. They're just going to leave it, and we'll see. We'll see how far it goes, how far down it goes. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. There's they haven't gotten a notice. I don't know if the notice of being delisted from the stock exchange is a ETF thing, or if it's an individual, equity company stock thing. Like if you're under $5, I think that's one of the qualifications, but I don't know. I don't think it applies to ETFs maybe, but what the hell do I know? But anyway, again, TIMB, thank you for the question. Please confirm that I answered it to your liking. If not, if you have any follow-up, we can always chat. All right, moving on. Sorry, that's the end of MSTY. Let's go to TSLY. TSLY, TSLY. Speaking of reverse splits, yes, they were the only one to do the reverse split, and everyone freaked out. Oh my God, YieldMax is horrible. Blah 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 blah. All right, and it just everyone takes it as complete negative sentiment. So yeah, but whatever. How we doing, TSLY? They got a synthetic. 320, 340. We might as well pull up the pre-market live, right? Where we got, type that in right here, TSLA, boom. Oh no, Tesla is down. Yikes. Actually, I don't want that. I want green today. See, because I'm too, we'll talk about that in options in a second, but Tesla is down 1.93%. It's at 339.69. It's down 1.93 now, but, they have a 320 and a 340. They're doing all right. They both expired July 18th, though, so they probably won't touch that. Now, if we look at the covered calls for the week, how we doing? Well, they have the lowest strike price at 365. That's 5.35% out of the money. And then the highest strike price is 390, and that's 12.57% out of the money. Are they safe? I don't know. They are scattered-do, though, so that's good. But we'll see how it all plays out. They're set up nicely. They're set up a little nicer than MSTY this week. The value of the fund, 1.1 bill. The NAV, 927. Trade price, 928. Synthetic is worth 33 cents per share on paper. Their 30-day IV is 61%. IV estimate based on that, 44 cents. Income estimate, $1.40, which would be 195% yield if they actually do pay that out. But they do declare next week, so it'll be a fun declaration or guesstimate day for them with Group A, which, again, they declare on June 11th. All right. Up next, your boy, NVDY, right? Or NVDY or NVDY. All right, so let's check out the pre-market for them, right? Manually type it in. I should have zoomed in, but whatever. It's down 0.99%. NVIDIA is down 0.99%. Not much. They have two synthetics, a 120 and a 130. They both expire July 18th. All right, cool stuff, right? Maybe not. Who cares about the synthetic? We care about the weeklies. How they doing? Well, they got the lowest strike at 139, which is 2.86% out of the money. The highest strike at 144, which is 6.56% out of the money. Not much wiggle room for NVIDIA to move this week. Because, again, you want NVIDIA to stay below by Friday. Of course, all these expire Friday, by the way, to stay below the lowest strike price. But, go right up to it. I mean, let's close at 138, like 98. Give me that on the Friday. That's like perfect scenario, because that way you can capture the upside, for the synthetic piece and still, pay minimal to close out these, to keep most of the credit that you got when you open those covered calls. All right. So the value of the NVIDIA fund is 1.4 bill. The NAV is 1544 and the trade price 1545. Their synthetic is valuable. It's worth $1.20. We'll take it. 30-day IV kind of sucks at 38.7%. IV estimate based on that, 46 cents. Income estimate, $1.47, which is a 123% yield should they pay that out. Group B, though, they declare in 16 days on June 18th. So we got to wait around for that, suckers, all right? We got to wait for that. All right, up next, you guessed it. What did you do to your cone? All right, CONY's up. Let's check pre-market on the coin side. Here we go. Oh, they're red too. They're down not much, 0.09%. Okay, they're at 246.40. Their synthetic is at 250. That expires June 20th. So that's coming up. Again, we are in June now, after all. Oh boy. June. At least it's, summer's coming, thankfully. So over this crappy weather. So how are they doing on their calls? Their lowest strike is 257.50. That's 4.4% out of the money. Their highest strike is 277.50. That's 12.52% out of the money. So they have a nice setup of skadoo-doo-dah, 4, 6, 8, 11, and 12% out of the money. So that's nice. That's super nice. All right, so we like that. Boom. We like it like that. All right. CONY fund is worth 1.1 bill. That's the assets under management. All right. How do I get that? Well, it's this. It's the total market value of the synthetic, the treasuries, the this, the that, the everything, right? So it comes to 1.1 bill, which divide by the outstanding shares, you get a NAV of 772. Closing trade price per Google Sheets as of Friday, 770. Again, that's what we kind of look at just to see if there's any huge variance. It's also important to look at on, ex-dividend date, but 2 cents variance, which again, who really cares about that? 30-day IV, 54%. IV estimate based on that, 32 cents. Income estimate, 7 cents, which, that's nothing. But anyway, they have time. They have 23 days because Group C declares in June 25th. All right, moving right along. Someone said, don't read the comments now. You're slowing down, which, you're probably right. If I read the comments this whole live, it'd take forever. SMC. I'll read the comments as soon as I get through PLTY, when we get the options, before we start the options part. All right, SMCY, they are down as well. They're down 1.55% at 39.40. Is that okay? Is it okay? Is it okay? Maybe not really for the synthetic. All right, the synthetic, it's a 45 strike. It expires June 20th. I know they got time, but that's $5. Let's look at their calls though. How they doing? They are doing okay. Lowest strike is 3.7% out of the money. Highest strike 13.69% out of the money. So pretty good gaps right there. We'll see how it all plays out. They are definitely skadoo-doo-dah, so that's a good setup. Yeah, they got credit call spreads. They all do except MSTY for the most part. The value of this fund, 170 mil. The NAV, 1938. Trade price, 1947. Synthetics, negative, we know. 30-day IV, 69.82%. IV estimate based on that, $1.05. Income estimate is a little ridiculous. It's $5.64. But yeah, they've been doing good, right? Then mainly from obviously the synthetic. Imagine if they paid out this full amount, $5.64, that would be a 376% yield. Yield. Again, they declare in 2 days. So we'll know by then what they're paying. They ain't paying this, so just get that through your head. Someone asked, what are they doing with the excess? Well, don't worry. There's plenty of, plenty of losses to offset it against because, remember, this was a $50 fund, all right? So there's plenty of payouts where they didn't make money or they didn't make nearly enough money from what they paid. So they have plenty to offset the losses against. That's why, it should not pay $5.64 because the fund would drop to a $15 or $14 fund. That's not a good thing. You don't want that to happen. So they probably will pay at lowest around their IV, at highest around 100 and some, low 100% range. So that's kind of how I think, at least with these funds. All right. Anyway, that's that's for the SMCY suckers. I know they're excited about their payouts. All right. Up next is, PLTY Posse in the house. Let's see how they doing. Palantir, man. Here we go. They're down. Everything's down today. What's going on? It's down 1.55%, 129.78. Again, this is pre-market though. At the open, we could open green, right? Green, baby, let's go. All right, Palantir is at what? 131.78. Well, that was a close, right? Pre-market's down a little, and their synthetic is at 115. Their synthetic is looking pretty good. No gold digger in sight here. They're selling calls, but they're okay, yeah. Wait, what the hell? What is that? Oh, duh. I'm looking. All right. I'm like, how is this 2% down here and the 2%? All right, these are in the money. Sorry, brain fart. Remember, I'm half asleep. So, lowest strike price 128. That's in danger. It's 2.87% in the money. Then they got a 129, 2.11% in the money. They got a 130, 1.35% in the money. So the fact that they are down in the pre-market 1.53% is actually pretty good for these. Pretty good. And you'll see that. Like if Palantirs, is that what I said? If they close, say, down 2%, PLTY would have a good day. You'll see. You'll see the numbers. All right. PLTY also has a 135. That's 2.44% out of the money. Out of the money. All right. So they are kind of scattered-do, but they're also screwed at the same time. So let's scroll down here to the value of the fund, which is $500 million, baby. This thing's going to hit $1 billion in no time. 518 mil. Oh, the baby's up. The NAV is 65.48. Trade price 65.28. Oh boy, the gap is 20 cents, but again, nobody cares. Oh my God, look at the synthetic. Are you kidding me? It's worth 889. Assuming I added the proper fields. That's nuts. I mean, why am I not buying this fund? What am I doing? Again, I'm just options greedy at the moment. I'm trading my own options. Maybe when I get put in check a few times, I'll probably add some PLTY to the portfolio. We'll see. By the way, I'm doing a portfolio update. Well, I already did it. It's getting posted this afternoon at 3 p.m. if you want to watch that. 30-day IV of Palantir, 59%. IV estimate based on that, 296. They don't have income estimate yet. There's just negative. So Group B declares in what? 16 days. So we'll keep an eye out for that and see how they do. All right, I'm going to do my options update next. So before that, though, let's go through some comments. You guys have any questions, any concerns, any, based on what the YieldMax coverage was? I don't know if I could scroll. It looks like there was a lot of activity here. Yeah, good morning. How about that? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And I saw someone say, why don't you post your accuracy percentage? And, I did answer. It's on there. It's on the YieldMax distribution file. But to be honest, I don't give a crap. Just so you guys know, I don't give a crap if I'm right or I'm wrong. I'm just doing what I think it is. Whatever it comes out to be, it is. I honestly don't care, So yeah, if I'm off, it's I'm going to be like, okay, that, I didn't see that coming, right? Or if I'm right, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Obviously, I think it makes sense, but in the end, really, who cares? They're going to declare Wednesday morning. You have the whole day to guess, so you don't have to base anything on my guesstimate or others. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Some comments here. I'm curious as to see what SMCY stock price will drop to after the next payout. Well, it'll drop by the amount of the distribution, of course, plus or minus whatever the underlying is doing on that day. But we shall see. Canaan. All right. There's Doc and TC. Are they causing trouble? We don't know, but probably, right? All right. Z-Dubs. Z-Dubs is always in Rod We Trust. He's posting that everywhere. I love it. Good morning, my Serenity. LA's always here, and I appreciate it. By the way, before I get into options, I have his video up and ready to go. Here he is. He's working on a Kenmore VMAX set. You know, we always promote his channel because he's always, you know, showing up to mine and help moderate mine as well. So, and you know, we appreciate that. Plus, he's teaching us how to fix appliances. I don't teach that. I don't teach you anything, honestly. But, you know, again, it's a premiere that kind of comes on after mine. So I always think it's a good time there. All right. So it's time to talk about my option plays. Are you ready? Boom, boom. Okay. No, for real. Oh, wait. Here's this comment. Canaan again. I have to say your estimates have been pretty accurate over the last 3 months. I've been following you. I mean, maybe they have, maybe they haven't. I know some were way off, so it doesn't matter. Like I said, I don't care. I know I'm waiting. I'm sure some people that do estimates, they love to be, you know, accurate, or maybe praise themselves if they're accurate, and let them be, man. You know, a lot of big heads in this space, so let them have their big heads, or, you know, cone heads, if they have a cone head. I did, like I said, I bought a cone head. It don't even fit my damn head, so I can't use it. All right, so let's look at my options plays. This is me covering what happened on the Friday and talking about this week. Again, these are my own personal options trades. So let's see what we got. So MSTY closed on the Friday at 21.55. I had sold a put for $23, and this was done on May 9th with an expiration date of Friday, this past Friday. So since it closed below $23, I got assigned. So I had to buy basically 100 shares at $23. So if you scroll here, I have the note, yes, this got assigned. And now I have 100 additional shares of MSTY, which, did I add that down here? 530, I did, yes. So I now have 500 shares of MSTY with a cost basis of $26.40. So this did lower my cost basis overall. And obviously it increased the number of shares I had, and just in time for declaration date. So next step is review the account, see if I want more MSTY in it. If I do, then I will sell another put that will expire the ex-dividend date. I'm sorry, the Friday before the next ex-dividend date. If I'm top heavy, then I'll just wait. Maybe I'll sell calls on MSTY if it's worth it. If not, it's probably just a buy, hold, and take up space, right? You know, MSTY, their margin maintenance in Charles Schwab, for what it's worth, I believe it's 50%. I don't even remember. But I'm barely using margin. But I am actually getting to the point where it is getting, it may need to be used. All right. So that's the update on MSTY. So no open trades any longer on MSTY. All right. T to the S to the L to the L. We had a lot. We had what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 contracts expiring the Friday. All right. So we had an $18 call. TSLL closed at $14.91. So they closed what? Below the 18. So obviously this thing expired worthless. So that, you know, those shares that I had tied up to this call are free. Let them free. And then I had a call at 12. 12 is obviously under 14.91. So what happened with that one? It actually got assigned. All right. Now, at the same time, I kind of wanted those shares back. So I sold a put Friday morning. It was at 15.80. I sold the put at 16. I mean, I had no idea it was going to drop to 14.91. I would have sold the put at 15. But and actually, around like 2 p.m., I believe, TSLL was above 16. So this was like, I was okay with that too. But in the end, TSLL, it went, you know, it's an animal. It went down. So I got those 100 shares back. So you'll see down here, I'll show you it's kind of like a wash. 100 shares got assigned at 12. And then I gained 100 shares at 16. And that you know, that did lower my cost basis as well. So, you know, my cost basis is 16.83. However, the total number of shares, no change, still at 700. All right. Moving on. I had a call at 14, right? That was getting close. You know, it was obviously in danger. So I had to do a rolling order. That's what they call it. Create rolling order. At least that's how Thinkorswim shows it. So down here, where's my 14? There. Where's my 14? Call. This has got to be it. Yeah, this is it. I don't know why it says put. All right. Yeah, it's good. All right. Whatever. That's a call. I rolled this. I had to pay 190. If you look at the top under the formula, I had to pay 190 to close that sucker, but I got a 220 credit on the new position. Total premium credit per share 30 cents or $30, still yielding me about 98%. So I'm not letting these shares go without a fight. That's for damn sure. But it looks like today TSLY is at 1442 right now in the pre-market. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. What else expired? We had a call for 17. Obviously, that's way above what they closed at. So if you go over here, I did put that they expired that also expired worthless. And then I got 4 contracts that expired today. Let me grade these out as we go so we know. All right. We talked about them. No reason to, no reason to talk about these anymore. Make that gray. And then even this, this was definitely a degenerate play. Was not needed. But hey, kind of screwed me in a way, but it was okay. It's okay. We'll be fine. I was hoping we'd open green today, to be honest, but that's why you gotta play. You can't do some stuff like this sometimes, All right. Anyway, what do we got open today? For this week, we got 3 calls: a 20, a 21, and we got that 14. The 20 and the 21, they're way out of the money. I could probably close them early if I wanted to, if TSLL continues to go down. And then we got a $13 put. Is that in danger yet? No, it's not really in danger. But if TSLL continues to go down, which, again, I could check the pre-market live since we are live and it's a little more legitimate versus watching it after the fact. Yeah, TSLL, it's down 3.29%. It's at 1442. So what I can do is I could sell a put, say, at 12 or maybe in 11. I don't know. I'll have to see what it's worth, but then we'll go from there. But that's kind of where we stand on TSLL. We have 3 pending calls and 1 pending put as we stand for this week. All right, TNA, because I'm TNA, dynamite. All right, so what do we got? I don't know. Why did I... These should be hidden, actually. I had them unhidden for a reason, I'm sure. But I'll just try to get rid of the noise. What time is it? Oh, man, it's almost time for work. All right. So we're selling call. What do they got that expired on Friday? We sold a call at 31. They closed at 29.07. So the 31 expired worthless. Great. And then we had a call at 30. They closed again, 29.07. I mean, that was pretty damn tight. But in the end, it expired worthless, which is fine. And then what else? There's this put. What did I do here? At 528, I sold an aggressive put. I sold it at 30, and they closed at 29.07. Because I wanted more shares, I guess, right? Again, this was my degen play of the week. Looking back, I don't even remember why the hell I did this, but I did it. So obviously, I wanted more shares. But if you look down here, I got assigned $30, but my cost base is god awful. So it at least lowered to 36.22. So I now have 600 shares of TNA. All right, so gray out these suckers so we can talk about the active, the fun stuff, and then we'll finish up here. Then we'll talk about the comments here, the active comments, and then we'll go to work because that's what we do, right? We work, unfortunately. We can't do YouTube all day, right? We got to actually work. All right, so TNA, what do we got going on this week? I have a $33 call. That's way out of the money, about 13% out of the money. And then we have a put, $26. What's TNA at the pre-market, though? That's the question. I have it on the left of my screen. You probably can't see that, so I'll pull this up. It's down, unfortunately. It's also down 1.1%. So if it stays down, what is it at again? 28.75. This 26 put, it's okay. We'll see how it goes, though. But I could sell another put at 25, 24 maybe, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, so that's kind of where we stand for the week. Total income for this past week was not really that fantastic. It was $356. We did close out the month of May, though. We do have some monthly data for you. MSTY total premium and distribution, I made 1,014. TSLL, I made 1,307, and then TNA, I made $830. Total on this account is $3,151.36 in income. That's a 252% increase. Wait, no, it's not. Sometimes, you know, what the hell I wonder what the hell am I doing? That's a 52.98% increase from the prior month. Okay, great. Again, that's whatever. As long as I make enough, because my mortgage comes out of here, $1,300 comes out. So here, obviously, cover the mortgage. Here, cover the mortgage, and then I was able to reinvest the rest. Makes sense? Great. All right, so that's the update on the options. I'm going to get to the chat, and we're probably going to call it a day. Do you guys have any questions? Do you not care about my options? Are you just here to chit-chat with others? Or what are we doing here? Again, we are live, so for the people watching it later, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so... All right, taxable. I guess they're asking each other questions. All right. Some of us go fishing when they don't have to go to work. Yeah. I mean, I can't wait till I don't. Then I'll get hobbies like fishing. I don't have time for that. First things first, get my ass to the gym more frequently. May looks great for your options. Thank you. Hopefully June does as well. I like options. LA said I made bank premium, bruh. Thanks, LA. Oh, please type this in on the regular comments. I'm not going to see it after the fact. So if you can, just type this in the regular comments. I'm not going to answer it now. I'll ask it. Why is YieldMax continuously creating funds? Blah, blah, blah. But you want me to answer it on the, well, I mean, I guess I can answer it real quick. All right. Why is YieldMax continuously creating funds? BRKC. It's an upcoming fund on Berkshire. How are the IV? Well, first of all, they filed for this in the very beginning with TSLY, with the others. May have been even before TSLY. They just never launched it, right? They were holding this back because they didn't think anyone would be interested. Now that they're an established fund, you know, company, they've been around, they're going to offer this. I think it's a great, you know, one to offer because it offers something different, you know, some pure stability. Sure, the IV sucks, but think of the balance it'll offer to YieldMax, you know, and overall. And obviously for the people who are okay with maybe a 10% yielder on an individual, although I call that's kind of its own index itself, right? Investing in a fund for Berkshire. So I don't know. I think it's awesome. Why would they not create more funds, though? I mean, the company's growing. It's not like they're not adding the staff, you know. You're probably thinking, you know, they have like 2 people and then they keep adding on more funds and they don't add, you know, more people to help them. But I think more funds, the better. Rod, chit-chatting is fun. All right, that's good to hear. Some people hate it when I yip-yap. Sweet. Thank you, Blue Moon. Appreciate that. Oh, damn, getting the love this today. Someone's going to rip me a new one soon, I'm sure. All right. How do you monitor your options? Well, I just showed you, right? On the spreadsheet. Not sure what you mean there. Let's see. Maybe that question probably wasn't for me. Greatest option mistake in 20. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, just using too much of my available funds locked in under, especially selling puts, because then obviously the new, Trump, the new administration came along and the market did what it did, and it kind of screwed me. And obviously, you can see I'm still paying for it, right? The mistakes are here. You see them. Look at this. I had a $42 put. Look at all these puts I had. I should not have that many puts, because it went down. It went from like 42 all the way down to like, what, 30, whatever at the time, and it's never really recovered. So yeah, this is my, for sure mistake that I'm still living with, because, I'm not giving up these shares easily, right? I'm selling calls further out of the money. I'm going to make premium. You can see I'm putting up a fight. The capital loss on some of these, yeah, they're hitting. We're down about 2,200 in capital, but we did make 3,446. So we're still up on this wheel by 1,246. But again, it's going to be a fight to the end, right? We ain't giving up these shares easily. But yeah, that was definitely my biggest mistake, using too much of my total available funds locked in on options. So I'm trying, plus not considering the delta. I do use delta now as a safer calculation play going forward. All right, what else? Selling calls. Oh, is this a follow-up? How do I monitor my options? Yeah, well, you go to the bathroom, right? Or you do whatever you got to do. You do a quick play and you move on. I don't stare at the screen though, because I'm working. I do a quick trade when I can. All right, that's good to hear, Vladi. Best of luck. Let us know if you have any questions. Bag holder Rod. Yep, that's me. That's for damn sure. All right, what else we got? All right, I think we're done. So, as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, we'll try again tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get up on time and make the video in the garage like normal. But yeah, I only went live today because I had to do something quick, or else the video wasn't going to happen before work. All right, anything else? If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions or concerns, you can leave them down in the comments below. Outside of that, it's time to start thinking about a keyword. So the people that are live, type in your keyword down below, and we'll see if it qualifies. In the meantime, I'll let everyone know, if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to say the keyword. All right, the keyword for the day. You type it down in the comments down below, and then people will know that you suffered through this whole video. I'll know, others will know, and that way you'll get credit. All right, but you got to type in the keyword. Today's keyword. People are slacking. People are slacking on here. I'll go with sour kiss, if that's how you say it. Bathroom break. That's the keyword today. I don't know why. Bathroom break is the keyword. And what do you do on the bathroom break? Well, that's up to you, right? So if you made it this far in the video, it actually applies to yesterday's live too, because I did take a bathroom break mid-video. But anyway, if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, keyword today is bathroom break. I did not take a bathroom break today, though. I will after this video. But I just want to say, guys, thank you for watching and have a great day. Have a great day at work, or if you're off, have a great day fishing, golfing, lifting, or counting your bills. I don't know what you're doing, but I'll be there soon with you, very soon. All right, I'm out of here. Have a great day. Peace.